This is what my finance degree taught me. Personally, when I went to university, I originally went into school for biology. Why? As an Egyptian American immigrant, we're always taught and known, oh, be a doctor, be an engineer, be a lawyer. And I'm like, you know what? This makes sense. Make a lot of money, there's a career in it, etc., etc. Awesome. But fast forward a year, 2 years, I met my match, organic chemistry. So I did what any self-respecting person would do, switch to being a business major. And obviously it sounds silly, but organic chemistry just showed me that I wasn't meant for this. I wasn't built to do this. And then I thought about it thinking, even doing this, I wasn't meant to do more schooling. It just knew in my heart that it wasn't me. So I went into business. Why? I love talking to people, interacting. I always did more entrepreneurship stuff growing up. Seeing an entrepreneur in my life kind of always allowed me to think and see it that way as well. I'm like, you know what? Entrepreneurship clearly seems like the task and the route I want to go. But okay, what do I major in? Do you major in marketing? Do you major in accounting? What do you major in? And I had a friend at the time who had internships at JP Morgan, and another friend on the soccer team who had an internship at BlackRock. And they were explaining to me, listen, go into finance, do the major that way, because again, with finance degree, you kind of get into any realm of business. And it's seen as one of the harder majors to enter in business. So it'll be your best chance later on if you really don't know what you're doing. I said, okay, cool. Anything's better than being in that organic chemistry class. So my first semester of being a business major, cakewalk. Did what I had to do. It was really easy for me. I enjoyed it. It wasn't really hard. And one by one, obviously being in those classes, I started realizing, what is finance classes really teaching me? I had to do a lot of accounting classes and things like cost management, financial analysis. There was investment analysis. There was financial statement analysis. And in all these classes, I kept thinking the main thing that a lot of them are teaching me is how to work for somebody else. It's how to read a balance sheet to then tell your boss, how to basically pick the right stock to then tell your team in your portfolio. But then even for me, one of my favorite classes within the system was investment analysis, where you had like a fake stock account that you and a partner worked on. And it was cool to like look at different stocks and different companies that you thought would grow over the next couple of years. And in hindsight, I remember looking back on that account years later and thinking, me and my friend were looking back and seeing how like we're actually one of the top performers in the class. And we're like, oh man, we're up like millions of dollars right now. And it was sick to see that even in a couple of years you can do that. And it was cool because you were able to see when you invest this money and when you have a little bit of money, you can really invest it and be able to create more. Wealth can make more wealth. And this was one of the more entertaining things that I learned in those classes, and stuff that I was like, yo, this is something really awesome and something I actually learned a lot in. And something that I didn't learn a lot in was, again, something more boring, painstaking work that I felt and was like thinking, in the future, wouldn't a computer just do this for you? Couldn't a computer just read through these things? And this is, again, me as someone who was always entertained into like the tech space. And because I was so entertained in the tech space, I knew things like ChatGPT were coming out. I remember reading articles about it. I was so in tune with a candidate called Andrew Yang, and he was basically telling me a lot of different things like, yeah, cars are gonna be able to drive themselves. Yeah, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. Jobs are gonna be taken by robots, even more so in the future. And this was a worry of mine. I was thinking, okay, if this is going to happen in the future, I have to find a job or something that is future-proofed, that no matter how much AI technology is created, it won't take it away from me. There's an algorithm called Aladdin that basically runs the stock market. And it's so interesting to see, wait, there are tools that basically run the stock market to buy and sell, basically telling companies and investment firms when to buy, when to sell, not a human being anymore. Then it got me thinking more and more, like, then this job market and this job security is going to be pretty shaky in the next coming years. And me personally, being Muslim, I didn't really want to work in a bank or deal with anything that had interest to do with it. So it limited my amount of jobs that I could really enter into. But again, the finance degree itself, what it taught me were some of those simple things. And a lot of the times, I didn't really learn the stock market until I actually lost real money in the stock market. And so I made real money in the stock market. Until you had to be patient, until you had to learn about crypto. You learn about this. There's so many different things you can learn. But again, when it came down to it, if you want a certain type of job, you want to enter a certain kind of field and career, that's where the degree will really help you. Will it teach you as much as you'd want to know? Probably not. But that could be said about any major or any institution. People always say that when you're actually at the job, that's when you do all the learning that you're really going to need. But something that I really liked was some of my marketing classes. And I was thinking, why are my marketing classes fun? Because I was able to talk, you're able to communicate, you're able to see what kind of things in business work, what kind of things don't work. Is it worth investing in this? Is it worth investing in that? That trial and error. I remember in my capstone class, we all had to pick an industry and talk about why this industry is successful, why these two companies who are in the same industry, which one's going to succeed more in the future, why they're going to succeed. And those types of case studies in business classes really taught me a lot, because it kind of showed me that there is beauty behind the madness. There are things you have to learn. You might have to look at a balance sheet or two. You might have to do this or do that. But again, you have to be able to take that knowledge and utilize it for yourself and your own career and things you want to build and create. And understanding that if you want to learn about entrepreneurship, you want to learn about business, talk to people who have a business, have entrepreneurship experience under their belt, who have created a business, who have sold and exited the company and sold it to someone else. Those are the types of people you want to interact with. For example, how can you learn about stock market tips from someone who doesn't even have a stock portfolio? So make sure that at least the people that you're learning from are doing what they're teaching you. Because again, it allows there to be a more personal connection and that you're actually learning something. And I learned in my business school, in my finance degree. So if you're thinking about kind of entering the business degree, or thinking about finance major or whatever it might be, make sure that it fits with the kind of person you are and the things that you want to do for the rest of your life. Because again, sometimes people regret, oh, I should have majored in something else. I should have majored in this, should have majored in that. But just make sure that a broad understanding of the kind of person you are and the things that you want to get into. And knowing that, again, school is becoming less and less obsolete when it comes down to having to have a major. Because again, I know people with majors who can barely find a job because you need 10 years of experience, but they just graduated last year. So how are you supposed to get 10 years of experience? A degree should not just be the piece of paper that you get at the end, diploma that says, hey, look, I have a degree, now I'm verified and qualified. But you are going to need to build these skills. You are going to learn them because no job's going to take you just because of the degree. Now you need to do both. You need to be able to utilize that degree, but also go out of your way to learn and become knowledgeable about your career, your field, things that are actually going to be successful within your career. Understanding financial concepts, important. Utilizing these in your career, important. Having to use these classes and take notes properly and actually focusing on those classes, hard. So understand that whenever you're learning these things in class, make sure you're going to utilize it in your real world, in your real life. Because again, it sounds silly, but how many times do you use the Pythagorean theorem in your day-to-day? Not often. But if you're a marketing major and you went into business and you're marketing every day and you're in school doing this thing, that makes sense. So again, make sure whatever degree you're going after, mine was a finance degree, and hey, I went into some sort of business, I went into entrepreneurship, you utilize it. So again, it is what you make of it. You have to understand that the degree itself, the piece of paper, can only be as valuable as you make it to be. If any other finance bros watch this video or people who want to become finance bros or sisters, please let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, me personally, I learned a little bit about my finance degree. I learned a lot at the university I was at, but some of the more real world practical experiences I learned after college. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll be sure to talk more about these types of things. And if you want me to talk about other majors or other different things about this, please feel free to comment them down below, and please share your story also as well. It helps boost the algorithm and helps get the video to more people. So again, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and I'm looking forward to talking to you guys again next week. See you later.